Hey everybody, welcome back to Leosophy, another standing video, I know. 3 more questions, I'll jump right in. What is the shortest and longest living tarantula? Well, I don't know about individuals, but I think that you're probably asking about different species. So let's see. The dwarf species, generally speaking, the smaller species is, or the faster growing it is, the shorter its lifespan is going to be. And no tarantula has like a short lifespan, like in the sense that an insect or a true spider would. Let's see. In terms of dwarf species, Seriocosmus elegans, they live like 1.5 to 2 years, the males, and then the females it's probably more like 3 or 4. And then in truer tarantulas, which is a misnomer, but just non-dwarf, I've got one actually, a Chromatopelma cyanopubescens, the green bottle blue. The males live like 3 or 4 years, and the females live probably in the ballpark of 7 years. And that's short. That's the short end of the spectrum. The long end of the spectrum, I also have one of these, Grammostola pulchra. The male lives about 15 years, and the female lives about 30. So, and most tarantulas are sort of in the middle. You know, you're looking at like, for most of them, you're looking somewhere between 10 and 20 years. So they, on average, live longer than your standard mammal house pet. So cats, dogs, rabbits, etc. They tend to outlive them. Yeah, I hope that answers that question. Let's see. What is a nootropic? Okay. Man, trying not to give like a textbook definition. A nootropic is any kind of substance that's used to improve mental function, cognition, memory, your brain, in other words. It's something that enhances your brain. Most, if you think about drugs in general, there's 2 kinds that we are more associated with. There's medicinal drugs that do things to improve some sort of bodily function, and then there's recreational drugs that decrease cognitive function for people's enjoyment. Nootropics sort of like on the other end of the seesaw. They improve memory or cognition, presumably. And just so you know, it's sort of a buzzword right now. Everybody and their grandma seems to be wanting to use nootropics. My only issue with that is, one, the FDA does not approve of supplements, so they don't undergo inspections, and so there's a very good chance you're just going to get garbage. And then when it comes to actual, clinically proven nootropics like flipping Adderall, you run into the risk of a number of side effects. So I'm not discouraging anybody from using them. I actually use a few, but once in a blue moon, like lion's mane mushroom. But really, it's something you should take with a pinch of salt. The best way to improve mental function is to participate in activities that improve mental function. Exercise, go for walks, use your brain, read, etc. That's the best nootropic, actually, is just using it. Same thing with, a person's body. The best way to grow your arms is to do compound movements and also even isolated movements that grow your arms well. Similarly, the best thing for your brain is to make use of it in a variety of different ways, including ways that you may not really enjoy as much, and you may come to enjoy if you actually do. Like for me, for example, I hate Sudoku. Thinking about getting into it, because it's probably good for you. Let's see. Last question. Oh, okay. I don't remember getting that one. That one's going to be hard. Okay. How do I stop sleep paralysis? I've made videos about sleep paralysis. There's a lot of theories about sleep paralysis. Some people think that it's actually a result of, or a prelude to, depending, of out-of-body experiences. Other people think that it's a byproduct of the mind's tendency to lucid dream, but not actually following through with it. There's like a lot of theories. But I have experienced sleep paralysis, and I've done things to mitigate it. So here are some of the things you could definitely do. 1, keep a dream journal. This allows you to notice patterns in dreams And as such, it makes it a little easier for you to realize once you're experiencing sleep paralysis, traumatic as they are. It's hard to be rational when one's happening, but you'll kind of realize, oh, this is not real. And once you realize that, it's pretty harmless. Another thing would be to actually actively participate in lucid dreams. And the best way to do that is the mild and wild formula? I mean, I don't know what you'd call that. Techniques. There we go. The mild and wild techniques. That's a good word for it. And they're very different. Mild is really more about implanting subconscious thoughts so that when you're dreaming, you recognize it for what it is. It always makes me think of that American Dad episode where Steve uses that technique, actually, and he incorporates a red ball in his dreams. It's pretty funny. I like that show. Anyway, using mild is a great way to sort of recognize things, and when used in tandem with a dream journal, which also helps you recognize patterns in your dreams, really great technique. And then wild is more of like a, I don't know if I feel comfortable calling it a meditation technique or a meditative technique, but that's the closest thing I can compare it to. So yeah, it's, I'm actually going to, I normally don't look up things when I'm giving answers. I like them to be off the cuff, but I'm trying to think of a good way to describe wild, and it's just kind of hard. Yeah, absolutely, I do think that mild is a better startup, and is the best way to start lucid dreaming, and that will help with decreasing the sleep paralysis. And of course, the most important thing, in my opinion, to mitigate sleep paralysis is be aware that it's not real. Because a lot of people, it shocks me how many people I've spoken with who've experienced it who think it's real. And there's nothing wrong with falling for the fact that it's real, because it feels 100% real. But just be aware you're not being abducted by aliens, you're not being visited by demons, you are experiencing a dream while you're awake. That's what's happening. And also, yeah, you know what? Like, this video is going to take too long if I explain wild. It's something you should definitely look up. Look into lucid dreaming. And another thing that I actually do, and I'm not advocating it necessarily because I don't want anybody having any bad experiences, because it can lead to bad experiences. I've experienced that firsthand. But if I'm under a lot of stress, and I think in the near future I'm probably going to experience sleep paralysis in the near future, one way that I will decrease the likelihood by just going straight into a lucid dream is increasing the vividness of my dreams. And one of the ways I do that, if I think, just little subconscious cues, I'm like, pretty soon I'm probably going to, I'll actually have mugwort tea, because it increases the vividness of dreams, and as a result, it just makes it a little easier, for me at least. Maybe that would count as a nootropic, or I don't know, I hadn't thought about that, because it is cognitive in nature. But anyway, bottom line, mugwort tea can sort of help with that, at least it helps me. But yeah, above all else, I'll summarize that one, because that was a long answer. Dream journals, realizing it's not real, mild, and then moving on past that, wild. And if you still have trouble, making use of mugwort, or even chamomile, or valerian, or what's that other one that's really good? Ooh, verbena. Verbena's good. Yeah. Anyway, I hope that answers all the questions. Like, share, subscribe, and keep asking questions. Bye.